How are you guys doing? I am glad that you are back, and we are going to get to our video lesson for today and get you some directions on what you're going to be doing. So you're going to look underneath your classwork tab, and the first thing you're going to do is take attendance for today. I'm looking at 8th hours right now, so it'll say Tuesday, but yours might say Monday if you're an 8A student. So you're going to take attendance for today. You're going to click on the attendance and submit the form, just a real easy form, not a quiz this time. Last week, you did take a quiz for one of your attendance checks on Wednesday, Thursday, the rhetoric quiz. If for whatever reason you have not taken that yet, it is late and you need to. While we're on the topic of late work, if you have anything that is not turned in from the past, you are digging a hole that is so deep, it's going to get really hard to get out of. So if you have late work, please get that turned in. Get it turned in so that way you can move on with your life and do good things, and you can stay on track to end this semester well. We have over a month left of school, and your grades can dip quickly. So please don't let your B turn into a D. Don't let your A turn into a C just because you're not turning in work. This is still school, and I believe in you. So anyway, if you're missing anything from the past, go fix that today. Turn those assignments in, and then get caught up this week. So you should have turned in your attendance for today and then clicked on the assignment. And today's assignment is book review organizer. So you have turned in weeks 1, 2, and 3 of Reader's Workshop. This is week 4. And your job this week is to finish reading your whole book. When your book is done, what you would do if you were in the real world and not a student anymore, you would probably, if you were an avid reader, you would go and you would write a book review. And book reviews, normal people write them all the time, and they help your friends and your peers and your colleagues know if they want to read the same books that you're reading. People submit book reviews on Barnes & Noble, on Goodreads, on Facebook, and so you're going to write your own book review, but it's going to be a little more professional. We're going to put it in MLA formatting, just so that way we can see that you have a really clear structure, but it really doesn't take long at all to write a book review. Some of you are still going to be reading your book for this whole week. That's okay. You already know if you like the book or if you don't, and you already have enough experience with the book to get started on this book review. So don't feel like you have to finish the whole book before you write the review. You are 75% of the way done. Let's go ahead and let's write this book review. So, and this is your final task for Reader's Workshop. Finish your book. Let's write a book review. So your assignment for today, book review organizer. Take attendance for the day. If you haven't done that, pause my face right now and go take attendance. Good job. Now, view the video lesson. You're doing that. Complete your book review organizer. Due Tuesday at 7 p.m. So this is not due on Friday. Your organizer is due this Tuesday at 7 p.m. It is a small task. It is not a large task. The reason it's due this Tuesday is because think of the organizer as your rough draft for what will become your final draft book review. So this is your teeny tiny simple organizer that is also your rough draft, and it needs to be done this Tuesday. Then next lesson that'll come out in the second half of the week will be directions for how to turn that into your final draft. And a lot of you will know exactly how to do that even without the lesson. But that's why it's really important for you to finish the organizer today and Tuesday. So let's click on the organizer and let's see what you have to do today. So just to clarify any misunderstanding about due dates, this is your week 4 for Reader's Workshop, your book review, but it comes in 2 parts. The organizer is an assisted grade, and it's due Tuesday at 7 p.m. And then the final draft, which is unassisted, this is your actual book review, not the organizer. The actual book review, which will be in MLA format, is unassisted, and it's due Friday at 7 p.m. So Reader's Workshop Week 4, the organizer's due Tuesday, the final draft is due Friday. The organizer is just one sheet. We're looking at yours right now. So it's just this first sheet. You have a few things to complete, different parts of a book review. There are 6 parts. So you have different things to complete. Just jotting down some notes here that will help you organize your thoughts for your final book review. So let's look at your organizer directions and get an idea of what you have to do right now. You will create a book review for the final week of Reader's Workshop. A book review is similar to a traditional book report, which you probably wrote in junior high, but it's amped up with your own opinions of the book as well as an overall rating. So this is going to be written in first person because your opinion in a book review does matter. So it's an opinion piece. We've been talking a little bit about opinion and argument, and we'll get back to that really heavily next week, but we're just focusing on this book review this week. So you are going to be able to write in first person. That's perfectly fine. And you will give the book an overall rating out of 5 stars. Whether you rate it a 1 out of 5 or a 4 out of 5 or a 5 out of 5 is up to you. So there is a video that goes along with these directions for how to create a book review. And to find that video, you just click on this YouTube link, how to write a killer book review. And what's going to pop up is this lady. And what a smile. And she is going to walk you through the steps to write a book review. She's very pleasing to listen to, despite her angry face in this picture. She offers this book review in 5 steps, but ours has 6 steps. The only thing that is added is that at the beginning of hers, she says that the summary is optional. And for us, it's not. The summary is mandatory. So that creates your 6 steps. So what I advise is that you pause my face right now and that you go and you watch this lesson on how to write a killer book review. So pause now. All right. And so now we're going to get back to the lesson you have hopefully paused and watched. I know most of you didn't, but it would really make my day if you did. Watch her directions. She walks you through everything. And I took her directions and I turned them into a template because she said it better than I ever could. So here's a quick template to complete your book review. The book review is going to have 6 parts. The first part, let's turn on this handy dandy highlighter. The first part is to begin with a summary. In her video, she mentions that this is optional. For us, it is mandatory. It's very short. Your summary should include 3 parts. Identify the main characters, introduce the conflict, and ask the reader a question. The reader's going to have to question something about what they might wonder about the book, what's going to happen to the characters, to the plot. It just makes them want to keep reading. Number 2, describe your overall opinion. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Did you enjoy it with some exceptions? We don't need details. We just need a quick summary of your opinion. Number 3, discuss the cons. In your notes on this side, I would like for you to have 2 or 3 cons. The reason that you want to discuss the cons first, and she addresses this in her video as well, is because if you address the cons first, then you get those out of the way and you can end with the pros. A reader will always remember the last thing that they hear, and so you want to end on that high note. So you're going to discuss the cons of the book. Some ideas to start with are: you felt the story was weak, the story would have been better if, I would have enjoyed the story more if, or I was concerned by. Now, your notes on this right-hand column, this is just an organizer for what your book review will become. I don't care if your notes are in full sentences or not. I just need to see that you thought these ideas through. So even though I have sentence starters over here, you don't need to use those sentence starters in your notes. Just know that they are here whenever you go to officially write that full book review. So after the cons, you're going to discuss potentially offensive content. This is always really important in a book review because you want to steer people away if they are sensitive to offensive content. And your book probably had offensive content, and that's okay. A lot of books do. You don't need to go into graphic detail about what the sensitive content was, but you do need to make the reader aware that it's there. So if there was content about sex, violence, language, you need to make that clear and say, if you're sensitive to this, you might not want to pick this book for you. And you can also mention if it offended you or not. That's up to you. The fifth thing that you're going to do in your book review is discuss the pros, again, 2 to 3, and then I have some sentence starters here. And then the sixth thing is to quote a meaningful excerpt. So an excerpt is just a small portion of the book that you think has a bigger meaning. It's probably one of those moments where a character was reflecting on their situation or on their life, or they say something metaphorical, and you as the reader stopped and you went, oh, well, that means something. And that's what you want to write down here. It can be from anywhere in the whole book. And remember, even if you haven't finished your book, you can still write this whole book review. You do need to finish your book this week, but you can still write this whole review even if you're only 75% of the way through. And then finally, this does not deserve its own section, but it is highlighted so you don't forget. At the end of the book review, you need to give your overall star rating. I just use the asterisk sign on your keyboard. It just looks like this right here. But if you want to copy and paste real stars, go for it. So just use the asterisk sign if you wish. And so right here, after your meaningful excerpt, you're going to put how many stars you would give it out of 5. That's the traditional number. So your only assignment for today, it is due Tuesday at 7 p.m., is to write down notes for what you intend on using in your book review and hit submit. You need to turn this in so that way you can work with it on your final draft. Now, there will be another lesson that's going to be released on Tuesday night at 7 p.m., and that will tell you how I turned my steps into the book review. It'll also walk you through the requirements. But some of you like to knock things out, knock them off your list, get things done. And if that's you, I went ahead and I attached what your book review will look like. Here's an example. I wrote this of a book I just finished. It's underneath a couple more right now. Here it is. Ooh. I just finished this book recently, and it was sitting right next to me, and so I wrote a book review about this one, and I made sure that I followed the requirements that I'm giving you. It's called Dear Edward by Ann Napolitano. Napolitano. And so I wrote a book review. Let me move my face here so I can scroll down. I wrote a book review that follows these rules, and I will walk you through this book review during our next lesson because this is what your final draft will look like and what you'll be submitting. So it's already here in case you want to check it out, but you do not have to because your only need right now is to answer these notes for what you will include in your book review, and that is your assignment for today. Don't forget to check out her video on how to write a killer book review. Her smile just kills me right here. I hope you guys have a good day. Email me if you have questions on your outline. And if you want to go ahead and get started on what will be your final draft, it is not rocket science, and I'm sure that you can figure out what you need to do. All right, so I will see you guys during the next video lesson. Get caught up on your late work. I miss you. I'll talk to you later. All right, bye.